Peace has been the most elusive goal of mankind's history. For centuries, mankind has turned to organized religion in hope of obtaining peace. In the 19th century, the capitalist elite enjoyed relatively peaceful conditions. Their wealth brought a way of life free from the polite faith by the majority. The working class faced deplorable working conditions in exchange for a menial wage. As a result, they were unable to provide adequate care for their families. The common man lost all hope in the promise of peace offered by religion. This rebellious view of organized religion was shared by Friedrich Engels, a German philosopher, who in 1848 co-authored the Communist Manifesto with the radical journalist Karl Marx. Engels worked to expose the exploitation of the working class, while Marx fought against capitalism. Their shared disdain for organized religion, capitalism, and the current plight of the working class fueled their search for an alternative method to obtain peace for mankind. Engels and Marx envisioned a way to salvation for the working class by means of a revolution which was inevitable. They came to the conclusion Marx and Engels thought the problems rampant in society could be solved by a reform to a socialist society. They viewed the current capitalist society created a history of class struggles that would be alleviated by socialism. Their plan would eventually eliminate the need for a government to rule the people. With the creation of the Communist Manifesto came a greater understanding of their intentions. The phrase, "from each according to his abilities, to each according to his needs," had great meaning in the Revolution, as it was the core belief of how socialism would bring about peace. Their ideology was that society as a whole would contribute according to their ability and receive what they needed. Marx and Engels believed that if all property was shared in common and all decision-making was done collectively in a democratic fashion, then each individual's needs would be met accordingly. However, even the most noblest intentions could be used in the wrong hands. Vladimir Lenin was a Russian revolutionary who, as a young man, read various Russian revolutionary theories, including the Communist Manifesto, that fueled his aspiration to force the revolution of a new social system for Russia. He set out to oust the autocrat regime and ensure the revolution took place in Russia. Before Lenin made his move to eliminate the provisional government, the country was in utter disarray. They were a very inefficient country using primitive farming methods to produce their livelihood. The vast majority of the population lived in a constant famine-like state of starvation, while in effect working as slaves for the landowners. In addition, the onset of World War I brought uncertainty to an already fragile nation. Russia was ripe for change and welcomed the incoming revolution brought by Lenin. However, Russia soon learned that Lenin had no regard for the human race and ordered mass murders to those opposed to his rule and the Communist Party. The death toll stretched into the millions, and those that survived faced famine and dire living conditions. It was Lenin's intention to spread communism on an international level and infiltrate the industrial countries of the West. However, communism did not make an impact on the American people, as the working class did not face the level of despair that made Russia an easy. Though the original Marxist ideology that life could be lived in peace if all was shared and equally distributed would be an ideal situation in the hands of a perfect ruler, that is simply not the reality we face today. A command economy such as socialism has proved to be a damaging effect on humans, as the central authorities can easily misallocate resources so badly that humans can experience famine and lose their freedom. On the other hand, a free market economy provides the working class with the drive to work harder in exchange for greater activity in the marketplace. This provides people with hope of a better life. The working class in the industrial countries had a better outlook than those held under communist regimes. However, the conditions of the working class are far from perfect, and many turn to a variety of outlets to seek improvement. Individual workers can join unions to better their own personal working conditions. Others chose to pursue change on a higher level through labor movements and sought the implementation of specific laws governing labor relations. Still others viewed the need for a more radical shift in power to a socialist political party to shift ownership of property and the rights of regulations to the community as a whole. From one outlet to the next, each had an ever-increasing agenda to change the position of the working class. A society can bring about a successful social change through revolution with sufficient motivation for change and proper leadership. A single action such as the tearing down of the Berlin Wall or the protests of Tiananmen Square may be the spark that starts the fire of revolution that spreads through a country and launches its citizens into action. Throughout history, many have turned to socialism to eliminate the source of greed, envy, poverty, and strife. Though it became the most popular political idea of history, every attempt to implement socialism has failed. The reason behind its failure can be noted in human nature. It is accepted that people will do the best they can to achieve their objectives, given the available opportunities. This drive toward success is not fulfilled by socialism, as an industrious individual receives the same allotment as an unmotivated individual. Without opportunities to succeed, the drive to work harder and smarter is lost. There is documented evidence as well that the main reason socialism has failed is because of government's failure to promote economic well-being. Socialism puts imperfect rulers in total control of a country and can be prone to acts based on greed and indifference to the common people.